she walked through that door. The most beautiful girl I'd ever seen before. Sea green eyes and long blonde hair, cool smooth smile and didn't have a care. I don't know why, but she walked my way. I was scared to death, but I was ready to play. Love at first sight sets the spirit free. I felt the dark clouds part, I heard the angels sing. My heart caught fire and my soul can fly. That's when I knew I had to make her mine.
Hey, hi everybody. How you doing? Hello everybody. Welcome to the big show. My name is Mickey and this is Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for Middle Americans where all Middle Americans are welcome. It doesn't matter where you've been, where you go. It just matters that you're here right now, embracing your middleness. The simple idea behind this is there are 20% of crazies on the right, 20% of crazies on the left, and we are 60% of the population in the middle who don't want to be crazy on the left or crazy on the right. We just want to be able to live our best lives here in middle America and have things that work for us, like our cities, our states, our neighborhoods, federal government. And so, anyway, that's the whole purpose of the show if you're not familiar with it. So, anyway, welcome to the big show, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be talking about who you vote for matters. I've had a couple of occasions to watch a couple of things in the last few days, and simple fact of the matter is that the politicians that we have been electing are just absolutely a total shit show. And I'm going to talk about that because we cannot afford to have politicians that suck and don't know things. They don't know things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Matter of fact, another thought just hit me, and I'm going to get to that. I got to write this down so I don't forget. They don't know things. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So now that we got that taken care of, let's take care of house cleaning for the day. So let's talk about this. This right here is the Constitution of the United States of America. I always keep one handy dandy right here in my desk. And it basically says, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote general welfare, secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States of America. Boom. How about that? That's awesome. You are sharing the planet with 8,276,000,000 other people, and nobody realizes, our politicians don't realize how big the world is, and neither do most of us. And then the debt clock. Uh-oh. Hey, look, we're not in debt anymore. That is funny. All right, we're $38 trillion in debt. So China is only $20 trillion in debt. How about that? So we're going to go back to that and let's do this. So, all righty. So where are we? Where are we and what are we doing? First of all, I want to do a couple of things. I want to say congratulations to Chief Staley, the chief police officer in the city of Cabot. He announced his retirement today. It was in the paper. Just want to let you know, congratulations to him for 31 years of awesome service to the people of Arkansas and wherever else he was serving. Congratulations, Chief. We hope you and your family enjoy a great retirement. And then congratulations to Captain John Dodd, who is a good friend of mine, who I absolutely adore. He's going to be the interim chief of the Cabot Police Department while we do this transition and we do a search for a chief. Now, it could be John. I like John Dodd. So good luck to everybody that's going to be considered. I'm sure that our mayor and everybody's going to do a fantastic job. So what did I do today? I played lots of pickleball today. I got my pickleball on. How about that? So I played this morning. I played pretty well. I didn't break a paddle yesterday. I was so mad I broke two paddles. I played so bad yesterday. I broke 2 paddles in the gym. So that was bad. But today, I not only played pickleball this morning, but I played pickleball this evening. I played okay this afternoon. But this afternoon, I got this great haircut from Sports Clips. So that was great. So I got my haircut on. So let's see. All right. So let's talk about who you vote for and why it matters. I was going to vote today. I voted today. Now we had primaries and then we had Supreme Court was opened. So there was a spot that I got to vote for the Supreme Court, and I got to vote for the millage in our city. But I have to tell you, for the first time in a really, really long time, I didn't vote in for everybody else that was running. And the reason why was this is a primary, and I'm an independent. Now, when I say independent in the state of Arkansas, I just went and changed my voter registration. I haven't done that in a really long time. Why is this important? Well, because I wanted it to reflect the fact that I am in the middle and that I'm an independent. And a long time ago, there was a race for president while I was a citizen of Arkansas that I thought was really important, and I decided that I needed to cast my vote. So I said, in the primary, I'm going to go and I'm going to register as a Republican so I can vote in the primary, and I did that. And I just never changed it. So I've been leaning right for a really long time. But I thought that if I was going to do this show and I was going to do something else that we're going to talk about here in just a second, that I need to change the way that I came across to the world. So I am in the state of Arkansas what is known as optional. I can't register as a or I can't register as a libertarian or Green Party or socialist or communist or any other party that happens to be out there, the Tea Party. I can't, in the state of Arkansas, you have 3 choices. The first choice is Republican, the second choice is Democrat, and the third one is optional. That's the way that the voter registration goes in the state of Arkansas. So I don't know where you are, and I don't know whether you can vote as an independent, but I encourage everyone to be independent. Why? Because this is an important question. Why would you want to be independent? Well, independent gives you a great. We lost recording. We're losing the connection. Oh no, we're losing the connection. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it back. All right. I think we're back. All right. So, the objectivity that you can have as an independent means that you get to take every single thing that everybody's talking about in the world of politics and evaluating it on its own merits. This not only affects the issues that we're talking about. Let's say you just pick an issue, whether it's a budget issue, whether it's the incumbents that are serving, whether it's the vote and how the primary system works, all of the things that are important to you need to be evaluated on their own merits. And then our politicians have to learn that there is a great deal of people that are in the middle that are evaluating them. Because I don't want you to just go down, I'm a Republican, so I'm going to vote all red. Or I'm a Democrat, and I'm going to vote all blue. I want you to take the point of this show is to say that, wow, we have a lot of stupid politicians and we need to get rid of them. And how do we do it? Well, I'm starting something new, and I'm going to call it the Middle America Party. Where's my thing? Where's my Middle America Party? There it is. There it is. So I went and got the website called themiddleamericaparty.com, and it's going to be coming soon. And I want everybody to know that it's coming soon, and I'll put a website up, and I don't want your money. I don't want your money. What I want is I want you to be an independent Middle American that evaluates the issues and the candidates on their own and then only vote for the ones that are worthy of being voted for. There's a couple of things that happened in this past week that made me think that people vote for stupid people. Stop voting for stupid people. Stop voting for stupid people. People that talk nice or pretty, stuff like that. Let me give you a great example. let me give you a great example. Well, I'm going to talk about those in just a second, but just a second. Let's talk about AOC. She's a representative in Congress from the state of New York. You know what she did? She went to Munich. See that? That's her right there. She went to Munich. This is her right there. She went to Munich to represent the United States on a global stage in front of a lot of smart people. I watched some of the interviews that she did because everybody wants to know what the representatives of the United States say. So she was a representative in Congress. She went over to Munich. She sat in front of all of these world leaders, and she was a blithering idiot. A blithering idiot. If it wasn't on her talking points, she was a blithering idiot. They asked her a simple softball question. What about the relationship between the United States and Taiwan and as it relates to China? You know what? She couldn't answer that. One of the most geopolitically important questions that are ever asked in these modern times is what is the relationship between the United States, Taiwan, and China? You know, all of our chips are made in Taiwan, that we have made a commitment to Taiwan over the last 40 years that we were going to take care of Taiwan because Taiwan is critically important to the infrastructure and the technology that we have in the United States of America. And China believes that Taiwan is still part of China. And as a matter of fact, China doesn't refer to Taiwan as Taiwan. They refer to it as China. It's critically important for everybody to understand that when a member of Congress goes to Munich and talks in an environment that involves international diplomats that look at all of the problems that are in the world, that we don't send a blithering idiot to represent and talk about these things. Now, if you contrast that, Marco Rubio also showed up, and he might be the best Secretary of State that we have ever had. That guy is on point. He knows everything. I don't know where he gets his memory. I don't know where he gets his thoughts. I don't care. All I know is that he is a second generation refugee family out of Cuba that lives in Florida. He was a senator from Florida. He's run for president. And now that he is Trump's Secretary of State, he is knocking it out of the park. He's killing it. He is amazing. You ought to hear the way that he talks about immigration. You should hear the way he talks about China. You should hear the way he talks about a relationship with Europe. What's going on in Israel and with Palestine. What's going on between Ukraine and Russia. He is on his game. And then you contrast that to the blithering idiot out of New York. And I don't understand how the people of New York can send a blithering idiot to Congress. Oh, she is so hip. She's so young. Now, here's the deal. She's pretty, but she's got a 10-cent head. Pretty and a 10-cent head get you these progressive ideas that she has that is like, we can do better. And rich people need to be in those topics. She has her talking points and she's pretty. And when she gets in her apartment and she's a social media darling and she flips her hair and she's like, hey guys, what they're doing is not cool. What they're doing is just, it's bad. And we can do better. Let's have some wine. Let's talk about this. Let's chit chat. Here's the deal. She's a liberal progressive Bernie Sanders without the age, without the wisdom, without the chops of being an elected politician that she has not effectively gotten any legislation through Congress. None. Not. She is an enemy of the way that we do business, and she's an enemy of intellectual people. She's an intellectual. She wants to dumb everything down to, oh, well, we can do better. Yeah, but you don't have any ideas on how to do better. And then when you go over there and you start talking about Taiwan, well, you know, Taiwan is in the water. It's an island. She doesn't know where Taiwan is. She said that Venezuela was in South America. Venezuela's not in South America, ma'am. It's not. It's in North America. It's north of the Panama Canal. But she stuck to her guns. She swore that, Taiwan is. She doesn't know the relationship between China and Taiwan, or why China wants Taiwan back, or why they claim that Taiwan belongs to China. She doesn't understand the geopolitical military situation that is there. And the people of New York keep sending her back. Every 2 years, they keep sending her back. That was only the first thing. The second thing was Mandami. Where's the article on Mandami? I got to show you this. This is the mayor of, oh, sorry, wrong button. This is the mayor of New York right there. His name is Mandami. Here's the deal with Mandani. He says that, hey, what we're going to do in order to balance the budget, because I have a lot of things that I want to pay for, like free buses for the World Cup, free buses for New Yorkers. He wants to freeze rent for all of the New Yorkers. He wants to give away the house. He wants to have homeless people there. He wants to take care of all of the people that come to New York by taking away the money from all of the people that live in New York. I'm not kidding about this. I'm going to read one section about where he's going to get the money to do this. This is why you don't elect socialists. This is why you don't elect socialists. This is why you don't elect socialists. They're morons. I'm going to read this right here. Absent new revenue authority, the city will be forced to use the only tools currently available to increase revenue and fill this gap: property taxes and the use of reserves. The $127 billion year 27 preliminary budget assumes a 9.5% property tax increase, generating $3.7 billion in 27. The city also applied $980 million from the city's rainy day reserve fund in 26 and $229 million from the retiree health benefit trust. Everybody understand that? He's going to raise everybody's property tax almost 10%. That means if you own something in the city, you owe them another 10% on it every single year. Then he's going to raid the rainy day fund, which is set aside for major catastrophes in a city of 8 million people. 7, 8 million, maybe 9 million people. He's going to raid so much money. He's going to take $100 million from snow removal, $5 million for warming centers, $11.9 million for new street health outreach and wellnesses. Now, I got to tell you right now, he created the budget. They created the budget. So when you get elected, you got to come up with a budget for the next year. And they created a budget that was so big that they were like, oh, well, the only way that we're going to get to this budget is if we raid all of our rainy day funds and the retiree health benefit trust in 2027. He's going to take all the money that New York has in reserve, raise property taxes 10%, and then blame it on the budget because the budget has to legally be balanced in some areas. Now, they're in debt. New York City's in debt and debt and debt. So when they say it's got to be balanced, they're bullshitting you. But he created the budget instead of living with the budget that they currently had and not rating all this stuff. He's going, it's not my fault. It's the budget's fault. No, it's your fault, dumbass, because you created the budget and then you're saying the only way we're going to do this is raise property taxes 10% and then raid these two funds. Is that crazy? Because somebody voted for this idiot. They could have voted for anybody else, but not that idiot. He's an idiot from New York like AOC is. She's a blithering idiot because at least she doesn't have the ability to shut the fuck up when she doesn't know what she's talking about or when she's out of her depth. She just hums and haws and, oh, look, I'm pretty and I'm a darling on social media. 750,000 people, between 750,000 people and 800,000 people are represented by one representative in Congress. So the 800,000 people that were in New York that voted for that dingy lady, that's crazy. You can do better. Send anybody but AOC. If you're in New York, send anybody but AOC to Congress. They will serve you better than that unintelligent, pretty talking head. It's absolutely insane. The people that you elect to go into positions, whether they're your mayor, whether they're on the city council, whether they're a judge in your county, whether they're on the quorum court as a what do they call what do they call the people on the quorum court? Some kind of judge. Justice of the peace is what they call them. It doesn't matter. You can't send stupid people there. So when you see somebody that's a talking head on TV, you have to go, hey, are they smart enough to actually understand what's going on? Because this is the note that I wrote to myself as we started the show. They don't know things. They don't know things. If somebody's never run a business, they should never be in politics. Because the first thing that happens in politics is you have to worry about a budget. And if you've never been in a business, then you have no idea how a budget works. So if you send somebody that has no idea how a budget works to a city is the equivalent of a business with a bunch of different departments. The street department, the sewer department, the people that bring you electricity, the people that oversee the infrastructure of the city, the people that fix things in the city, the people that keep the buses running, the people that keep the transportation systems running, the people that are associated with animal welfare, the people that are in business, economic development, the people that are the lawyers for the city, the public works department, all of those people. If you don't understand how a budget works, why in the hell, if somebody doesn't understand how a budget works, why in the hell would you vote for them? Oh, well, we have a great family. It's got good values. Well, good. That doesn't fix anything in the city. That doesn't stop anybody from going to the cities. There's a person in Congress right now that thought that Guam, because it's an island, if too many people were in the military on one side of the island, that the island would flip over. Literally, a member of Congress said that in the congressional record that Guam was going to flip over if too many people were on one side of the island. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. that Guam was going to flip over. So too many people were on one side of the aisle. He said it in the congressional record. Other things that people do that are stupid. They don't understand how international relations work. We send people to Congress all the time, and they don't understand the difference in the continents, in different countries, in different political sects, and how the European Union, NATO, the free trade agreements that we have between us and Canada and Mexico, and the trade agreements that we have between us and China and us and every other country in the world works. They don't understand them. Why? Because that's not why they go to Congress. These people are ignorant. They're like, I want to save babies, so I need to go to Congress. Man, that's not why you go to Congress. You go to Congress because you're broadly intelligent across a wide range of topics so that you can deal with them effectively for our country. You just can't send tall, pretty people to Congress. If they're going to go to the Senate, if they're going to be in the House of Representatives, we have to do better. You have the responsibility of being educated. And if you possibly can bring every one of your family members into the fold about stupid people being elected because they're pretty or because they have one good idea or because they say something intelligent, our politicians should not have an axe to grind or have an agenda. They can say things like, I support the Constitution of the United States of America. I support America. I want to be a good representative because I have good values, and every decision I will make will be to spend your tax dollars wisely to reduce costs and to make sure that your freedom is maximized. That's all I want from a politician. Get me a good budget. Get me some good freedom, because I love the freedom, and get me intelligent decisions about how we proceed with all of the departments that we're going to go in. That's where all the fraud came from. All of the fraud that we're seeing all across the United States of America is all because dumb politicians. They're like, hey, we need better education. So we're going to create Department of Energy or Department of Education. What's the Department of Education going to do? They're going to make sure that all of our students are smarter. Well, how are they going to do that? They're up in Washington. Well, we're going to make a whole bunch of stupid rules, and we're going to deny money to states so that states can't do their own thing without federal government. We're going to start the college tuition loan program. We're going to take over college loans. What a fiasco that is. We're going to make it more affordable to buy houses in America. What a fiasco that was. Digital currency. It's going to be another thing. What they're doing with AI, going to be another disaster. Our government, the people that are in government are idiots. There's a few shining examples of people that are not idiots. Unfortunately, they also have a political agenda. Because they have a political agenda and they're getting money from all these large corporations, they're being bought. As they get into politics, they are being bought by all of these special interest groups. Your job is to defend against that. Don Ledger, Carolyn, how you doing? Don Ledger goes, New York, they get what they voted for. FAFO, that is true. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Hey, Steve Hayes, I'm glad to see you. Mark Alcantara, glad to see everybody. Hey, do me a favor. Be a defender of the vote. Make sure you know who you're voting for. And if you're not voting for somebody for a particular reason, don't just fill in the box. Just let it go blank. I'm telling you, we need to be more careful on who we vote for president, for senators, for people in the House of Representatives. We just need to be much better than that. So I'm going to go. Oh, by the way, if you did not watch the Americans versus the Swedes today in hockey, you need to go watch that game. It was an incredibly fast-moving defensive game that ended up in the tie, 1-1. But I'm not going to tell you how the overtime went because I'm not going to be a spoiler here. So just go watch the overtime of America playing Sweden. That game was to see who was going to go play gold. So let's see. And then the downhill went great. And I've been obsessed about curling and sweeping. I've been obsessed with that. So go America. Let's go America. Let's see this. I don't want to show any of that. I don't want to show. I had a bunch of different things lined up, but they were all headlines. I'm not going to be a spoiler. So go American. I just wanted to let everybody know that I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys showing up every week to watch me do my Mickey in the Middle show. Thank you very much. Remember, I am Mickey in the Middle, the quintessential show for Middle Americans, where all Middle Americans are welcome. We don't pay attention to the 20% of the crazy on the left, 20% of the crazy on the right. We're only focused on the 40% of Americans in the middle, because the 40% of American middle actually control the country. So be looking for the Middle America Party coming soon to a website. We're going to be looking for 10% of the people to sign up for that. You don't have to sign up with an email. We just want 10% of the population to be smart enough to vote for the right people. So, with that being said, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for your time and your attention. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being here. Everybody have a great night. See you.